can see that the natural shape of the hoof could not fit properly on a flat shoe. The hoof has a natural arch to it. This is how the hoof can open and expand and flex while the horse walks. When the farrier lifts the hoof up and nails the shoe onto the hoof, you are putting the hoof into a constant state of contraction, restricting blood flow into the internal structures of the hoof. Not only do you restrict the natural hoof mechanism of the hoof, you then block the ability for the hoof to work correctly. You remove the ability for the digital cushion to sit directly under the coffin bone and to absorb shock. You are now putting shock on the coffin bone, on the navicular bone, and up through the bone structures. This is why you see so many shod horses with arthritis, ring bone, and side bone. On the left is where the digital cushion should reside under the coffin bone, absorbing shock and helping with the proper hoof mechanics of a barefoot horse. On the right is an unhealthy digital cushion. In the next photo, I'll go over how this happens and exactly why the farrier trim is bad for the internal structures of the hoof. So to be able to put a flat metal shoe on arched hoof, you're going to have to cut away heel and sole to create a flat surface to fit the shoe. So you've already distorted the hoof just by applying the shoe. Not to mention the amount of wall that has to be grown down the front of the hoof to nail the shoe on has now delayed the breakover and has stressed the internal structures of the lamina when the horse walks heel toe. Here we have an anatomy pic. I drew a red line where the farrier lowers the heel to the widest part of the frog. The red line shows how much sole is being taken off of the hoof. You've now exposed the internal structures to concussion, and this is what we refer to as a thin-soled horse just by applying a shoe to the horse. When you lower the heel to the red line, you've now removed an area for the digital cushion to sit correctly in the hoof. So the digital cushion is being smashed out the back of the foot and compressed and unable to work properly. This is a dissection showing the amount of height from the hairline to the top of the heel, 2 inches of height in the heel to allow a healthy digital cushion to sit properly in the correct place. And this is an upright heel, this is not an underrun heel. So if someone tries to argue that shoes are not bad for hooves, it's scientifically and mechanically impossible for a horse to have a healthy foot that is convex and concave, that needs a hoof mechanism to push blood in and out of the hoof. It's impossible for a shoe to allow these natural functions to happen that creates a healthy foot. Shoes are bad for hooves mechanically, scientifically, and common sense. This is why your horse needs to be barefoot. It's not an opinion, it's not a lifestyle, it's a fact.